As Christians, we hear all the time about loving unconditionally, turning the other cheek, and being self-sacrificing. But what happens when that kind of love starts to feel, well, destructive? When turning the other cheek just means you keep getting hurt? It's a really tough spot to be in, this tension between wanting to show selfless love and protecting our own well-being.
And that leads us to this huge question that so many of us wrestle with. Does being a good Christian, does showing real love, mean we have to have zero boundaries? We kind of get this idea that to be Christ-like, you have to be this endlessly available, open door. But today, we're going to seriously challenge that notion.
Let's just call it what it is, a toxic myth. This idea that true biblical love has absolutely no limits. Honestly, this one little myth is the source of so much pain and confusion. It's a recipe for disaster that leads to burnout, deep resentment, broken relationships, and sometimes even losing your sense of who you are.
All right, so how do we bust this myth? We've got to go straight to the source, to the ultimate example of love himself, Jesus. And when you really look at how he lived, you'll find something that might surprise you. Jesus was not a model for boundaryless love. In fact, he was an absolute master at setting healthy, necessary boundaries.
First off, let's talk about his time. Jesus was constantly being pulled in a million directions. But Scripture tells us that after pouring himself out, he would often pull away to a quiet place to pray. He didn't let the endless demands of the crowd completely drain him. He knew his own limits, and he actively protected his time with the Father to recharge. And it wasn't just his time. He also set some seriously powerful emotional boundaries. I mean, think about it. When people, even his closest friend Peter, tried to pull him off his mission, he was incredibly direct. "Get behind me, Satan." He protected his emotional and spiritual focus without any hesitation. That shows us that protecting your God-given purpose isn't unloving at all.
And that brings us to another kind of boundary, a physical one. Jesus knew when it was time to just walk away. When his opponents were trying to corner him or a situation got dangerous, he would often physically leave. He used distance as a tool, a necessary boundary to protect himself so his mission could continue.
So, here's the big takeaway from all this. Jesus' love wasn't chaotic or a free-for-all. It was incredibly intentional. The boundaries he set weren't about pushing people away or being unloving. Not at all. They were about preserving his ability to love them effectively and to see his ultimate purpose through to the end.
Okay, so we've seen what the Bible shows us. Now let's dig into the why behind it all, from a more psychological angle. Because understanding what boundaries actually do is the key to understanding ourselves and making our relationships work. It all comes down to personal responsibility.
So what are we really talking about when we say boundaries? It's actually super simple. Boundaries equal ownership. A boundary is just a clear line that says, this is what I'm responsible for, and, just as importantly, this is what I am not responsible for. It's about knowing where you end and where another person begins. And what happens when we don't have these clear lines of ownership? Well, the fallout is pretty predictable, and it's never good. First up, resentment. You start to feel used and taken advantage of. Then comes burnout, because you're pouring all your energy into fixing problems that were never yours to fix. And maybe worst of all, you end up enabling the other person, robbing them of the chance to grow by facing the consequences of their own choices.
There's this verse in Galatians that just hits the nail on the head when it comes to boundaries. For each will have to bear his own load. Now, at first, that might sound a little cold, right? But it's actually an incredible statement of reality and respect. It's basically saying, I care about you, and I'll walk with you and help you, but I can't carry your load for you. That's yours. All right, so we get the what and the why. But the how can feel really intimidating, right? How do we actually do this? So let's break it down into a really simple, practical guide you can start using today. It's a three-step process. First, you have to identify the need. Get specific. What exact behavior is draining you? Second, you have to communicate that boundary clearly and kindly using I statements. So instead of, you're always calling me so late, you say, I really need to wind down for bed, so I won't be answering calls after 10 p.m. See the difference? And finally, and this is the hardest part, you have to enforce it. Because a boundary without a consequence is really just a suggestion. If they call, you have to let it go to voicemail. Remember this, your job is to set the boundary. Their reaction, that's on them. So as we bring this all together, it's pretty clear we've got to totally reframe how we see boundaries. They're not about building walls or being mean or selfish. They are an absolutely essential part of a wise, sustainable, and truly Christ-like way of loving others.
So please, if you take away one thing, let it be this. Biblical boundaries are not selfish walls designed to keep people out. They are an act of profound wisdom. They're about being a good steward of the life God gave you. They're what finally allow you to live out the full commandment, to love your neighbor as yourself, not instead of yourself.
And that brings me to a final question, just for you. As you think about your life, your relationships, right now, what is one specific boundary you need to set this week? Not to push someone away, but to actually preserve your ability to love them and yourself in a way that's healthier and lasts for the long haul.